For us, it's all about quality and community. That's why we take the best quality local beans and turn them into the best quality coffee that Richmond has to offer. This ain't Maxwell's house. It's Urban Haynes Suite. So come spend some quality time. It's sweet.
Visit the Urban Hang Suite, located at 304 East Broad Street in Richmond, Virginia. Or give us a call, 804-325-9089. You can also visit us online at urbanhangsuiterva.com.
So there are so many different facets of blockchain technology, and I'll just break down a few of it. The crypto space. You also have the NFTs. So NFTs are going to be non-fungible tokens. That is going to be something that is unique. Fungibility just means I can exchange anything, right? So if I give you $100, you can give me, 5 20s, 10 10s, whatever, right? As long as you give me $100, everything is cool. But if I loan you my car, you have to give me that exact same car back, because even my key is an NFT. It only fits that one car, right? So understanding that, those type of things are out there.
Malik's First Job Podcast, here to answer any questions that y'all ask. Financial literacy and resources. Parents and young people becoming bosses. CEOs, future leaders, entrepreneurs. Conferences and boardrooms getting sponsors secured. If you want generational wealth, Brooklyn's own Kerwin Phillip with information to help. Malik's First Job Podcast. Malik's Podcast. Brooklyn's own Kerwin Phillip. Kerwin Phillip. Malik's First Job Podcast. Brooklyn's own Kerwin Phillip. Generational wealth.
Welcome everybody to the Malik's First Job Podcast. This is Kerwin Phillip, your host, and today we have a very special guest. Let me read his bio to you. As a technologist with over 20 years of IT experience, our guest has developed solutions and spoken at several venues internationally. He is the founder and CEO of Flames Technology Centers, a hybrid learning platform that focuses on educating youth on blockchain, cryptocurrency, and financial literacy. He is also the founder of a tech firm, a travel agency, book publishing company, and creator of Get Wealthy Wednesdays, a podcast that focuses on topics of tech, health, and generational wealth. He also teaches blockchain globally at Althash University. His 3-time best-selling book, Adopting Blockchain and Cryptocurrency, Embracing a Digital Future, continues to be a great resource for introduction into the blockchain space. Today, I want to welcome Mr. Fred Brandon. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, man. How you doing?
I'm great. Man, I'm very excited to have you on today because there's so much information and so much talk about blockchain and crypto, and for the newcomer or the onlooking, it can be very confusing. Right. So can you kind of explain what this whole thing is about blockchain and crypto and all this stuff that's going on?
Man, how much time we got? Because it's gonna take me a minute, man. But no, seriously, I talk about this all the time, so I'll try to break it down a little bit. All right, so the blockchain is going to be like the infrastructure. So a lot of people, when we talk about blockchain, some of the things they first think about is like Bitcoin or crypto or whatever, and that's all they think about. But the way blockchain works is not just the financial sector. It's going to be across, you name it, whether it's going to be health, finances, supply chain, there's a lot of different use cases for blockchain technology. To try to get into like some of the technical part of it without going too crazy, it's kind of like a distributed ledger, right? So we just kind of think about a ledger, the regular ledger system, and we're keeping everything on the books. We're keeping these transactions. Well, this is going to be something that's distributed and it's going to be everywhere. So it's not going to be, stored in one place like a database where it can easily be hacked. This is going to be on multiple nodes distributed around the world. So it makes it a lot harder to crack. I'll put it that way. And because everyone is, pretty much keeping track of this international ledger, this is really going to be a really good way of being secure. Understanding all the transactions, everything that's going to be there, everything is going to be done with a cryptographic hash, which means it's actually showing that it's immutable, that it can't be changed. Once it's on a blockchain, it can't be changed. So there are so many things, so many different working pieces to it. And I'm sure we'll probably get into a lot of it. So I'll stay. I'll keep it calm there.
Okay. So what's the difference? Because like I say, you hear the terms blockchain, Bitcoin, crypto. What's the difference between these different terms?
All right. So the blockchain is going to be infrastructure, right? So that is going to be, I like to say, it's the train tracks, right? So you have the train tracks, and then you have an app that rides on top of that train track. So the actual train, right? So you're going to have these things that's going to be either it's going to be Bitcoin, or you might hear another term, altcoin. Altcoin is going to be every coin that's not Bitcoin, right? So it's Bitcoin, and alternative coins or altcoins are going to be those other cryptos. Now, there are roughly about 14,000 cryptocurrencies out there right now, and they're not created equal. So everything is not necessarily, even though it says cryptocurrency, they're not necessarily money, right? So we can't judge them all the same. You're going to hear a lot of different things. When you really start getting into the space of, hey, which one is better, Bitcoin or Ethereum? Well, they do two different things, right? So, I give the example of it being a race car and a dump truck, right? Which one do you want? Well, it really depends on what type of job it's doing for you, right? So, if you're trying to go fast, then you have that one. But if you're trying to actually do, have some type of working process, or, you're actually dumping dirt, then you're going to go with the dump truck. So there are so many different things. And once you start getting into this space, people are going to start trying to look for all these different cryptocurrencies, but it's really up to the individual to start doing their research on each one, because, as I said, they're not all the same.
Wow. Yeah. So how does a person differentiate or know? Because, you hear about Bitcoin. I guess that's like the main one that people often hear about.
Right.
And then you're also hearing about like Dogecoin, what's that? Ethereum, is that another one?
Right.
Ethereum. And then you hear these different individuals. Like I know, for example, the rapper Jim Jones, he has his own coin that he just recently put out.
Right.
So, I mean, how is that all controlled and monitored? Like, let's say if I decide to come up with a coin today, what creates the value in that particular product?
Okay, so that's a great question. So as I mentioned, it's over 14,000 coins right now. So what you really need to start figuring out is what's the network like, right? If I come up with a coin right now, and just say, your example, you come up with a coin right now, right? How is it valued? Well, who's using it, right? Okay. So if you're going to give it out to, your family members, your family members are the only ones that's going to find value in it, because now I'm able to, I like to give the example of marbles, right? If I decide to say, I'm going to start using orange marbles, it's symbolic of Bitcoin because it's the orange. If I'm going to start using orange marbles, right? And we have some type of consensus, whether it's me, you, our cousins too, everybody, we all have a consensus to say we're going to use orange marbles that's going to be able to be as an exchange of service, right? Whether it's, me coming to you for, tax advice or any type of thing like that, or, you coming to me for, helping with IT stuff, or someone else, right? As long as we're providing the value, we say exactly what it's worth, right? So, I mean, if we start, thinking about money and thinking about money, where money comes from, and, if you go to other countries and say, I'll give you a 1 cow for 4 chickens, who determines if, what 4 chickens is worth, right? So I think it's all about community. It's all about that network. And once you really start understanding that, then that helps to say, okay, what is Bitcoin? Where is Bitcoin getting its value from? Because this is something that's being, taken up across the world right now. So everyone is using Bitcoin for the most part, in some facet. You have a country like El Salvador that actually made it is legal tender. You have mayors out here, whether it's the mayor of Miami or the mayor of New York right now, that's saying, I'm going to take my couple of my paychecks in Bitcoin. They understand the value of it. If I wanted to do have any type of transactions in Africa or Asia or whatever, they find value in Bitcoin. So I think everything boils down to the network and who actually values what. Now, the same example that you've given with some of those other coins, you really need to start doing your research, right? When you start going to places like CoinMarketCap.com or CoinGecko or Masari.io, any of those places where you can start seeing these listing of coins, you're able to click on those white papers, try to figure out what's the use case. Is it something as that they're making 1 million a day of, or is it something that it's something that's going to be a limited supply like Bitcoin? Bitcoin, there will only be 21 million ever, right? So, and then some of these other ones that you name, like Dogecoin, is endless supply. So, just think of like the grains of sand, right? I can make as much sand as where's the value. So, I think it's, what it really boils down to is the community that backs it. And if they decide to place value into a particular crypto, that's where the value comes.
Okay. Now you had used some terms that I want to get some clarification on, because again, everybody is still learning in this space. I want to make sure everybody gets a good understanding of some of the terms that you're using. So you said a white paper. Now, what exactly is a white paper?
So the white paper is going to give you a description of the project, right? It's going to break down. One of the best ways to understand what a white paper is to read the Bitcoin white paper, right? It's only 9 pages long. It gives you a consensus of understanding why it was created. What's the project? It may go into some crazy math stats of this is the algorithms that is being used. This is who is supporting all of those type of things. So when you start going into some of these projects and understand, okay, what was the purpose of them creating it? Does it actually have a use case? I like to give an example of maybe a gas coin. Just say Sunoco or BP decides to come up with their own coin. That means they can actually use that coin within their own ecosystem. It's for gas. That's the only reason they're going to use that for, or maybe snacks or something that they have inside their stores. But they have that within their ecosystem. That is the purpose of their coin, right? But then at the same time, there may be other things that's out there that may not have a value. It may be something, that you're going to hear called meme coins. Dogecoin is a meme coin. It has no reason of, to live really, right? It's just out there. It's a meme. It was based off a meme. And you see a lot of different of these meme coins that's popping up everywhere that really doesn't have any value. But as I say, it goes back to that community of the people who are, either trying to, find a way to make quick money in these meme coins, buying and selling, or if it's, they're going to try to kind of shoehorn it into actually having a purpose. So those are some of the things that's out there right now. And hopefully that answers your question. Back on mute.
How should parents and teens pay attention to this phenomenon or this Bitcoin and crypto? Well, why is it important for these young people to really pay attention to what's going on?
So I think we need to understand where society is going, right? And being able to understand that this is going to be the future of money. If we start thinking about how money has been transacted in the past. We've already been there. We've been doing a lot of things with PayPal, Cash App, credit cards. Credit cards is pretty much using a magnetic strip, right, on the back of a piece of plastic. I mean, that card could have been made out of cardboard, right? It has your name on it, but what's really doing is actually moving money from one account to another account, right? So from your account to a merchant account. It's the same idea, right? It's the exact same idea of what's going on right now. But now we're doing something that's peer-to-peer. So when we start thinking about what we're doing with PayPal or Cash App, and I say, hey, I want to be able to send money to you for some type of service or, some type of, goods or something that we're going to be selling, it's going to make things a lot easier, because now what we have, in some of these, places like PayPal, if I want to send you, $20 for a service that you're providing me, are you getting $20? You're probably getting like 19, 12. They're going to take a piece of it, right? They're going to take some of that money. It might not even be that much, but you know what I'm saying, right? And now we have something that's going to be peer-to-peer. This is something that's just between me and you. It has nothing to do with any third party that's going to be in there trying to take, a cut, right? We've had these people like Western Union and MoneyGram and whatever. If I wanted to send money, overseas to my, parents or cousins or, grandparents, they're taking 30% off top, So we have to understand that this provides a different way of understanding how revenue is generated and where everything is starting to go. Also, I want to say that we also need to think about how this is going to play out in the long term of understanding generational wealth as well. We may not necessarily have the kids being able to buy or purchase Bitcoin at this time. But at the same time, if we as parents are buying the Bitcoin and getting into crypto and understanding it, we want to be able to pass this on to our children. Well, being able to, they're not going to understand it. If they don't understand it or don't appreciate it, then we're pretty much stacking all this money for nothing, right? So we want to be able to educate our kids on this type of technology, and then get them understanding exactly what it is. So when it does come to that time, that they do understand what this is.
As a busy entrepreneur and business owner, do you find yourself overwhelmed with day-to-day tasks? InnerVision Consulting provides virtual assistant services to entrepreneurs, coaches, and nonprofit organizations, taking on those everyday tasks while leaving you time to focus on the things you love, being more productive, and having more flexibility and freedom. Put yourself and your business first. Visit innervisionllc.com or call 804-420-2306 to schedule a free consultation today and learn more about how InnerVision Consulting can support you in taking your business to the next level.
Yeah, that's one thing I've been speaking on recently. You always hear people speak about generational wealth and passing wealth down from one generation to the next, or passing it down to your children. And there's a statistic that states that, from that 70% of generational wealth is lost from the first to the second generation, and that 90% is lost between the second and the third, right? And that's due to the fact that, young people don't really understand, the parents take the time to build the wealth, but while they're building it, they don't teach the children how to maintain it, right? And we've seen that even outside of, just passing down from one generation to the next. We see when people come into lottery winnings, or they had that the documentary, the 30 for 30 several years ago, about NFL players and other athletes that came into large sums of money, but then I guess within 10 years of them leaving the league, they become broke and they're bankrupt because they just came into money real quick and just not knowing how to manage it. So you mentioned that the different platforms. So I know there's different places where you can purchase cryptocurrency, and there's a lot of debate as to which one is better than others. I know Hill Harper was speaking about, like Robinhood, is robbing the hood and stuff like that. So, based from your experience, which platforms would you recommend that parents and children, or parents and teens, acquire the Bitcoin from? Or not Bitcoin, but their cryptocurrency. I keep saying Bitcoin. That's the top dog.
It's like Coke. It's like Coke. It's all of them. Yeah, I get it.
There's 14,000 out there, so there's a lot to choose from.
Right. So as you mentioned, Robinhood, there's a couple of platforms that I'm gonna tell you to stay away from. Robinhood is one, Venmo, PayPal, Webull, and SoFi. Those are going to be top 5 that you really want to stay away from. And the reason why you want to stay away from them is because they do not allow you to self-custody. And this is what it's all about. We want to be into a situation where we're able to put this in our own wallet. If you're just going to buy it on their platform and never have access to it, it's almost like you're renting it, right? It's like, okay, do I own it really? Or I don't. I never can put it in my wallet. I can never put it in my pocket. No, you can have it, but it's like having a bike and leaving it down at your friend's house. Like, it's both our bike, but we just gonna keep it at my house. No, that's not your bike, right? So you have to understand that being able to self-custody is what this is all about. So one of the main platforms that's going to really make this easy, and especially for kids, is going to be Cash App. Cash App just came out with a 13 and over type of thing. So kids that's 13 and over can now buy crypto, they can hold crypto, they can do all those different things that Cash App allows you to do, right? So that's probably going to be one of the best places. Very easy. You're able to manage your crypto there, or your Bitcoin there. Unfortunately, Bitcoin is the only thing that they support at the time, but that is the one that you really want to kind of focus on, because that is something that's, like I said, there's only going to be 21 million ever. So we have to start thinking about long term and how supply and demand works, right? So just understanding that Bitcoin is probably the only one that's going to be based on Coinbase, on Cash App, on Cash App at the time. So that's where you're going to stay. I don't see them really switching into other cryptos. Now, there are other platforms out there. If you are looking to get into some of these other cryptos, it's going to be, something like Binance.us for us people in the US, or Binance.com if you're outside the US. Kraken is another one that's really good. Coinbase, only because I mentioned it. Well, I mentioned it again, but you just got to be careful, right? Coinbase has a lot of high fees. They have there's a lot of different things that reasons why they're in the news. So I would always ask that people go and just do your research on all of these platforms before you just jump into any of them. But just understand that sometimes the fees on Coinbase is a lot higher than other places. So when you're getting into this space, you're going to understand that there are going to be one Bitcoin is not the same on all platforms, right? One platform, it might be 60,000, another it might be 60,200, 300, whatever. So you have to really kind of understand this space a little bit and say, okay, well, this one might have might be marked up a little higher, but might have cheaper fees. This one might have, it's kind of like the Wild West a little bit, because there's so many different platforms that's out there that might give you incentives to say, okay, if you use our platform, we have the lowest fees out there, right? But at the same time, it might be $100 more or whatever, and it's just that type of arbitrage that's out there, and you just have to really do your homework on that. But yeah, there are roughly about, I'm not even sure anymore, I'm gonna say at least 10,000 exchanges out there. It's a bunch, right? It's about 10,000 exchanges out there. So there are a lot of different places that you can buy it. And like I said, just be careful where you are. But Cash App is probably going to be the easiest because a lot of people are already using Cash App.
Okay. All right. So I guess with the, in addition to like this whole blockchain technology, people are speaking about, I guess, this whole concept that Facebook is introducing, the Metaverse. Right. Now, how does this blockchain technology fit into what Facebook is developing?
Okay, so that's interesting. So there's a lot. That's a lot to answer. So there are so many different facets of blockchain technology, and I'll just break down a few of it. The crypto space. You also have the NFTs. So NFTs are going to be non-fungible tokens. That is going to be something that is unique. Fungibility just means I can exchange anything, right? So if I give you $100, you can give me, 5 20s, 10 10s, whatever, right? As long as you give me $100, everything is cool. But if I loan you my car, you have to give me that exact same car back, because even my key is an NFT. It only fits that one car, right? So understanding that, those type of things are out there. So the NFT space is allowing people to do a lot more things virtually, to be able to do art, to do things in the VR world, and things of that sort. So couple that into what Meta is doing now. They are, creating this metaverse, or this VR type of everything that's really going to be out there. Being able to have some of these things within the metaverse, you're going to be able to use NFTs. You're going to be able to, use crypto or do purchases and some of those type of things that, may have that underlying blockchain technology underneath it. So, once, they really build this thing out, expect, blockchain to be the major backbone of everything that they're building. So because it's going to be able to interact with everything that they're doing, and then it makes it a lot easier for transactions and trackability and everything later on with some of the crypto and some of the NFTs that they will be using.
Okay, so so for a person that's trying to get more information and to kind of educate themselves on this blockchain technology, I know you have your book. Can you kind of speak more about what your book covers and where people can get that?
Sure. So my book is called Adopting Blockchain and Cryptocurrency, Embracing the Digital Future. You can go and get that from Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, anywhere books are sold, really. I'm out there everywhere. You can also go to my website, adoptingblockchain.com, and it gives you a lot of places where you can go and to make it a lot easier for you. Or if you just want the ebook, I have that in ebook as well. So what my book really helps, I like to call it a technical book for non-technical people, because I really wanted this to be available and understandable and digestible by not only kids, but old people as well. Right. I want everyone to be able to understand this. Sometimes when you get tech books, your eyes start to glaze over. You don't make it past the first couple of pages because everyone is talking over your head. So I really wanted this to be the type of book that you understand exactly what it is, why we need to start adopting it, and why we need to start thinking about cryptocurrency as not only as an investment method, but also something that we can utilize to make purchases, to start storing generational wealth. A lot of different things that we're going to be able to use cryptocurrency for. That's the main focus. So yeah, it's and as I mentioned, I go through a lot of different use cases in the book as well. So it's not just this is what is utilized for crypto, but if you are thinking about utilizing this in your companies, your infrastructure, I actually give some use cases in there as well. So
okay, great. All right. Now, before we wrap up, now I know you have a youth program, Flames. Can you speak about that? I guess how can people get involved in that program?
Right. So definitely reach out to me, Flames Technology Centers. You can go to flamestechcenters.com. What we do is we help children and youth really learn about blockchain, crypto, NFTs, that area. We really want to be able to not only just teach them this new technology, understand the crypto space, but also tie that in with financial literacy. Because what this is really going to happen is we're going to learn the tech, but at the same time, learning tech is only half the battle, right? Once we understand what this really does for us, being able to invest, whether it's into Bitcoin or people are even investing in NFTs. But at the same time, I really want the kids to understand that we have a lot of artists that's out here, and you're able to make money. I see some things out there like these 12-year-old girls and boys that's out there making hundreds of thousands of dollars because they're selling their NFTs. Well, this is great. This is great for the space. This is great for them. But at the same time, as we mentioned, sometimes if there was no education or any type of financial literacy, they can be broke by 13, right? So being able, we don't want that to happen. Right. So we want to be able to not only introduce them to this space, but also give them that backbone of understanding financial literacy as well. So FlamesTechCenters.com. You can go, and we're Flames Tech Centers on Instagram as well as Twitter as well.
Okay, great. So now if anyone wants to touch base with you or follow up with you or follow you, where can they find you?
All right, so I am IMF Brandon all over these internet streets. You name it, YouTube, YouTube, Twitter, Clubhouse, Instagram, you name it, I'm there. I also have my own website, which is going to be fredbrandon.info. Where you can get a lot of the information there. I also do one-on-one tutoring. I help you, if you are new to the space and don't know exactly where to start, we can talk. I want to be able to help people as much as possible. I know it's very confusing and it's a lot to grasp. Some people may not necessarily come from the tech space. They may not come from the finance space. So I'll make that a lot easier for you, or even security. I've been in the security space for over 10 years. So I understood security way before I understood Bitcoin. But as soon as I understood, I started getting into Bitcoin, I started looking into blockchain and everything just clicked. I was like, oh, this is simple, right? So I being able to, talk you through, things like private keys and public keys and, those type of things is really what I want to be able to help you to understand. Or what's a wallet? Some of these type of things are like, well, this is just like a regular wallet, or is it something I need, or, hot, cold, hot wallets, cold wallets, any of those type of things. I really want to be able to help as many people understand that type of technology because this is where we're going.
Right. Wow, it's a lot. I know we can't cover it all in 30 minutes, but definitely if you want more information, we're definitely going to have Mr. Brandon back. I know after this podcast airs, I'm gonna get a lot of questions, and I'm gonna put those questions together, and I'm gonna bring you back on and kind of address those as people, reach out to me and want to get some more clarification. But definitely, you see his information below, scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Reach out to Fred. He's a very knowledgeable person in this space. He's been doing it for quite some time. He got his book out. He's also got the programs for the kids. So definitely. Reach out to him on, like as he said, these social media streets. And I know you host a room in Clubhouse as well, correct?
Yeah. So I'm also in there as well. So part of the Black Bitcoin Billionaires. We've been doing this for just about a year now, where we talk about, I think it started right about December or so of 2020, and we've been in there, pretty much religiously every day. Just trying to help people understand this space a lot more. So as I mentioned, IMF Brandon everywhere, on Clubhouse as well. So make sure you come follow me or hit me up in the Instagram DMs or something like that. I'll be able to follow you and converse with you there.
All right, great. Man, thanks again. for coming on the program. Again, like I said, we know we definitely have you back on sometime in the near future. Again, get in touch with him online. You have his website, his IG handles. And again, thanks for coming on.
Hey, no problem. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on here.
All right. Now take care. Peace. A New Financial specializes in helping the Black millennial household to strategically and confidently shop for insurance. They have over 8 years of experience with insurance and are located in Richmond, Virginia. A New Financial is a certified Black-owned business and a one-stop shop for anyone who wants help with auto, home, business, life, and health insurance. They have your life covered. Call them today at 571-402-4208 and let them know that Malik's First Job sent you. Thank you. Today is a great day to start your own podcast. Whether you're looking for a new marketing channel, have a message you want to share with the world, or just think it would be fun to have your own talk show, podcasting is an easy, inexpensive, and fun way to expand your reach online. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest and best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. Your show can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google products, and more within minutes of finishing your recording. Podcasting isn't hard when you have the right partners, and the team at Buzzsprout is passionate about helping you succeed. Join over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world. Let's create something together. Follow the link in the show notes and let Buzzsprout know that we sent you, and that will get you a $20 Amazon gift card if you sign up for a paid plan and help support our show. Thank you very much, and let's be great podcasting together. Peace.